It is 99.8 FM KCC Live, and you are listening to the K Club with me, Amber. And on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, it is an absolute pleasure to be joined with such a talented creative and producer. He has worked on some of your favourite songs in K-pop right now, and it's Alawn. It's so amazing to meet you. How are you today?
Hi, great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, no, it's absolutely fine. So, obviously, the world's really crazy right now. How are you finding, like, quarantine? I know I can imagine that you've got plenty of things to be
Yeah,
doing.
I guess for us producers, it doesn't change that much because we kind of live in the studio already.
Live and
So,
breathe.
I mean, it's been good. It's been good for everybody to spend time, alone and do whatever they love and really, be with themselves. But I've been enjoying it, been back and forth between home and the studio and just staying creative and working on so many exciting projects. So it's been good.
Amazing. Okay, so for those who aren't familiar with your work, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and when you started producing?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Alawn. I'm a songwriter, producer, mixer, and DJ as well. I started producing when I was really young. I mean, I learned the piano first, then went on to the guitar, bass, and drums. And I really started producing when I was about 14, 15. Um, and then I moved to the US when I was 19, and that's when I really started doing that full time. And the whole K-pop thing really came to me about like a year and a half ago only, and I've been, fully involved in that since then. Yeah.
Amazing. So, how was it that you were introduced into the world of K-pop?
It really came to me out of nowhere. I really wasn't expecting it. I worked on the MBC Under 19 theme song. That was my first project that I worked on. That was K-pop. So that was my introduction to this whole K-pop world that I knew nothing about. And as I was researching it and stuff, I was like, wow, like this is
Crazy.
huge. Like this is a
Yeah.
whole, you know, that
Mhm.
I had no idea of, and I honestly fell in love with the music, the culture, and all of that. So yeah, that was the first song that I worked on, and then I flew to Seoul in South Korea last summer for the first time, and that's when I truly fell in love with the city and the music even more. That was my first SM writing camp. So I was in the SM studios and met so many amazing people and people that now I write with every day, and
Yeah.
no, it was amazing. Yeah, it was really good.
Oh, so cool. So, like, obviously, from that leads another opportunity and then another opportunity.
Yeah.
So, you recently worked on NCT 127's latest single, Punch, and you've also worked with some other artists from SM as well, such as WayV and Super M. So, how was your experience working with them, and what is the process usually like when it comes to producing those songs?
Sure. Well, it depends. It really depends on the song. Most of the time, from my experience, most of the songs that ended up placed for those artists were made during those writing camps that we do over there in Seoul. So,
Hmm.
they flew us there. They take really good care of us. And usually a camp is about a week to 10 days, long. And so we have different rooms with different producers in each room and writers, and we alternate every day. And at the end of the week, you end up with maybe 20, 25 songs.
Yeah.
So during the week, they just give us direction of, hey, we're working on this artist project and this and that. They give us some kind of leads and direction of where they want to go. And we take it from there and just, create. And yeah, that's the most fun is when you're in the city, around the whole culture and everything that
Of
I
course.
personally feel the most inspired. But I've had some songs as well, of course, that I've been working on here in Houston, and just sending them over and, going back and forth with edits and all that stuff. So I haven't worked directly with the artist, in the studio, and that's
Mhm.
most cases. They always come in after to cut the vocals and stuff once the song is like perfected.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, it's been really fun. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's really exciting for me to hear. Actually, I'm new to the K-pop songwriting. I actually just started early this year.
Okay.
So I'm a artist and songwriter myself. But obviously I'm a huge fan of K-pop, and I've always had this dream to write for like artists and things. So it's really inspiring to like talk to someone who's like already had that kind of experience. So I just want to know if there's any advice that if anyone who's listening who has like a passion for music or producing that is trying to make it into the industry or in specifically the Korean industry, what advice would you have for them?
Um, I mean, one thing that's I think is amazing about K-pop and the record labels over there and the artists is that if if the song is great, they will take it. No matter in the US, there may be some politics behind it and who wrote it, who, if you're this producer is signed to this label or blah blah. In the industry over there in the K-pop world, if a song is great, it will get placed. So that's I think a great advantage. So I think one of the main advice I can, tell someone who wants to start is it's all about the songs. So write the best songs you can, connect with as many songwriters and producers as you can, network on social medias, and just get creative, write, study the structures because it is really different from Western music.
Yeah, totally.
Study the chord progressions, the melodies, the harmonies, really get all of that. And yeah, write, the best songs you can. And, if you come up with amazing songs, they will be heard. And I have no doubt that they will be placed eventually. So, you just be creative. Really.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the more songs that you write as well, it's not only experience, but I think, however many songs like further down the line, you're like eventually going to have one that someone is going to hear and say, oh, this is it. So, yeah, I think
It
that's
takes
like,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it only takes one.
So, today on the show, we are going to be premiering Victon's new single, Mayday, which you are obviously one of the geniuses behind. So, before we close the interview and play the song, can you tell us what it was like to work with them and the record label and how that opportunity came around?
Yeah, of course. So it's the same team I've been working with. Shout out to them, by the way. It's Markan, Ryan, Jong, and Mark. They're amazing people. They're my publishers over there in Korea, and they bring most opportunities to me. So they came to me with this demo, and they were like, "Hey, we're missing production and missing certain parts." So they passed on the song to me, and I kind of added a lot of sounds, moved stuff around. I created new parts, and really took the song where it needed to be. And from there, we got the confirmation that Play M wanted to cut it for Victon, and so we've had more back and forth. And they went to the studio over there with my team and recorded all the vocals, which they completely killed. I love what they did. And then I actually got the chance to mix this song as well. Most of the time the label have already the in-house mixing engineer and stuff, but this one I guess Play M really trusted my vision and my sound and stuff. So I was really grateful to be able to mix it as well. And yeah, that's how it came about, and I'm really, really happy about it.
Yeah, that is so cool. And the song sounds amazing. I've had it on repeat all morning, and the music video is sick.
It's insane.
Like, choreography, like, I just love how everything's always matched up, like, perfectly, like, from the outfits,
Yeah.
of, like, the visual elements of it. It's so cool. And I think Victon as well are, like, one of the smaller ones that not everybody has heard of unless they're, like, a really avid, like, listener of, like, the music.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that you're like working with someone, as like amazing as them.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show
much
and chat with us. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it so much, and it's so amazing to have someone who's actually worked like behind the scenes.
Of
like
course. I hope
of
it
songs.
opens the door to getting more and more like features on your show and stuff.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Of course.